Chosen one, the truth is far more disturbing than you think. For centuries, the world has been living under a great deception, a carefully crafted illusion designed to blind your eyes and silence your soul. The hidden truth has been buried beneath layers of noise, propaganda, and false leaders. But now the veil is lifting. You are not here by accident. If you are listening to this, you are awakening to a spiritual warfare that touches every part of your life. Why have so many voices misled us? Why do the powerful twist sacred words into chains of fear and guilt? What secrets are still locked away, waiting to be revealed? These questions burn at the core of every restless heart, and today we step into the answers. In this video, you will uncover why the chosen ones are rising now, why divine mission and spiritual awakening are the only paths forward, and how the blessings of clarity, strength, and truth are being poured out in this very hour. This is not just information, it is revelation, the power to break free from fear, to awaken your gifts, and to step into the destiny prepared for you since the beginning of time. The great deception is collapsing, and your choice is clear. Stay blind or open your eyes. If these words stir something inside you, if you feel that undeniable pull in your spirit, then you know you are part of this awakening. Comment below with what you believe the greatest hidden truth really is, and let us see how many of us are awakening together. Do not forget to like this message and subscribe, because every action you take here amplifies light against darkness. Stay, listen, and let this truth flow into your soul like healing fire. The time is now. The world is waiting for the chosen one. The world at a crossroads. The world is standing on a razor's edge, suspended between the illusion of light and the weight of encroaching darkness. For decades, shadows have crept silently into the halls of power, dressing themselves in authority, draped in robes of respectability, yet beneath those garments lies rot. The chosen one is not called to be blind to this reality. The great deception thrives because so few dare to look past the mask. Leaders rise, speaking of unity and hope, but their words are hollow echoes designed to keep the people quiet, passive, asleep, and yet your soul has not been silent. That stirring you feel, the pulse in your chest when you hear the words hidden truth, spiritual awakening, divine mission, is not coincidence. It is the whisper of eternity. Imagine the countless millions scrolling endlessly, consuming what they are told, never questioning why fear dominates their hearts. News cycles scream of disaster, social feeds drip with panic, and entire nations stumble like men drunk with confusion. This is not random chaos. It is design. The great deception spins webs so fine you barely notice the strands tightening around your spirit. Politicians promise change while bowing to greed. Religious leaders preach holiness while twisting scripture into shackles. Corporations feed you with empty pleasure while stealing your clarity. And in the middle of it all, the human soul cries out for something real. Think of Israel wandering the wilderness, following false gods when the presence of the Almighty was waiting just beyond their camp. Or imagine Rome, dazzling the world with wealth and power, while inside the empire rotted under corruption. History has always repeated this pattern. False lights leading the masses astray, while the few with vision see the cracks forming. Today, those cracks are everywhere. The scandals exposed, the whistleblowers silenced, the moments where truth slips through like sunlight between broken walls. This is the crossroads. you can feel it. Systems built on lies are trembling, the world is shifting, and your spirit knows something greater is about to break forth. But what does this mean for you? It means you cannot live asleep anymore. Every choice matters. Every voice raised in truth matters. Every act of courage matters. Spiritual warfare is not a metaphor. It is the unseen battle shaping governments, economies, and even the thoughts whispered into your mind. The great deception thrives only when people stop questioning, when they stop seeking, when they stop believing they were born for more. You are not powerless. You are being awakened to carry clarity when confusion rages, love when hate consumes, faith when fear screams. So ask yourself, who benefits from your silence? Who profits when you doubt your worth, when you are distracted by noise, when you surrender your purpose? The answer is clear. The very powers that seek to bind you. That is why awakening feels so urgent, why your spirit will not let this message go. You are standing at the edge of a new era, and the choice is before you. Remain blind in comfort, or step into the light of painful, liberating truth. Comment below. Do you believe the world is being manipulated by design, or do you believe this chaos is random? Your voice matters, and your insight may awaken another soul. The Great Deception. The Great Deception is not loud. It does not always arrive in explosions or riots. It often comes soft, dressed as hope, cloaked in tradition, whispered through the voices you trust most. Like the serpent in Eden, it does not command. You will not die. It suggests, persuades, twists, until light looks like darkness and chains feel like safety. This is why so many do not even know they are bound. They carry their shackles as though they were bracelets, proud of the very prisons that hold them. Look at the world around you. Technology promises connection, yet leaves millions more isolated. Media claims to inform, yet confuses, divides, distracts. Religion preaches peace, yet manipulates with guilt and fear. All of it is a grand performance to keep the soul asleep. This is the great deception. To convince you that you are powerless, that the truth is unattainable, that life is nothing but survival until death. But chosen ones know this is a lie. Realize this. Every empire that thrived on deception eventually crumbled. Egypt, Babylon, Rome. They all believed their illusions would last forever. But truth is incorruptible. When the light shines, the counterfeit is exposed. And now that exposure is happening again. You see it in the headlines. You hear it in the testimonies of those brave enough to speak out. Even in your own life, the veil is thinning. You notice manipulation where once you were blind. You feel a divine nudge when lies try to seduce you. The lesson is simple but life-changing. Never take the world at face value. Question the voices that speak with too much certainty. Examine the motives behind the words. Most of all, measure everything against the whisper of your spirit, for the divine planted within you a compass that cannot be corrupted. This is the armor of the chosen one, discernment sharper than any sword. And yet, the deception fights back. It uses fear to silence you, distraction to numb you, division to pit you against your brothers and sisters. That is why awakening requires not only clarity, but courage. Courage to speak when silence is safer. Courage to love when hatred is easier. Courage to believe when cynicism rules the world. When you embody that courage, you break the web of lies. And when one person breaks free, it inspires another until the ripple grows into a tidal wave. Your soul was not created to drift aimlessly. You were crafted for a mission, and that mission begins when you reject the illusion and embrace the truth. Imagine a world where millions rise with eyes wide open, refusing to be controlled. Imagine a generation that values love over fear, wisdom over manipulation, purpose over profit. This is not fantasy, it is prophecy. The awakening is already stirring, and you are called to be part of it. This truth should not fill you with despair, but with fire. The great deception is real, but so is the awakening. You are not alone. Every comment you write, every truth you share, every connection you build adds to the chorus of souls refusing to live blind. Together, the light multiplies. This is why you are here, listening, resonating, feeling the words cut into your heart like lightning through the night. The Chosen One is not just a title, it is your calling, your destiny, your responsibility. Step into it fully. The path forward is not easy, but it is sacred. Beyond this lies the moment when your awakening becomes unshakable, when your gifts unfold, when your mission is revealed in clarity. That is where we are headed next. The deception may be vast, but the light is greater, and soon you will see how the awakening reshapes not only your life, but the future of the world. Awakening of the Chosen One. To awaken as the Chosen One is to feel a fire ignite inside your spirit, a flame that refuses to be smothered by the noise of the world. It begins with a stirring that will not leave you alone, an ache in the soul, a restlessness in the heart, a sense that you were created for more than survival. This awakening is not pride, not ego, but responsibility. You are not called to boast of being different. You are called to bear the weight of truth when others deny it. You carry a gift few dare to embrace, the ability to discern light from darkness, to pierce through deception with clarity sharper than any blade. Imagine standing in a crowd where everyone is laughing at the lie, celebrating the illusion, while you alone see the trap hidden beneath. The world may call you paranoid, delusional, even insane. Yet deep within, you know you are not mad. You are awake. This is what separates the chosen, the willingness to believe the unseen, to feel the whisper of the divine cutting through the chaos, like Noah building an ark while the world mocked, like Jeremiah weeping for a nation blind to its sin. The chosen ones endure rejection because their eyes are open. Awakening is never convenient. It shakes the ground of everything you thought you knew. Old beliefs crumble, friendships dissolve, habits die. And yet in the breaking, a new vision is born. When you awaken, you no longer ask, "Why me?" but instead whisper, "Send me." That shift changes everything. You are no longer waiting for someone else to act, for some savior to step in. You become the vessel of action, the one carrying the torch in the night. This gift is double-edged. With vision comes loneliness. With clarity comes responsibility. But do not fear. Every chosen one is backed by divine strength. The same hand that stirred your soul will sustain your journey. When doubt creeps in, remember this. You were awakened not just for yourself, but for countless others who will only see because you first believed. Your awakening is a chain reaction. Your courage becomes someone else's hope. Your light becomes another's map. Consider the practical lesson. When your eyes open to truth, do not rush to convince the world. Start by living it. When you embody integrity, when you choose compassion over bitterness, when you stand in faith instead of fear, people will notice. They will ask questions. They will wonder why you are unshaken when the world trembles. That is the power of the awakened. Without preaching a word, they radiate a presence that shifts atmospheres. This is how movements begin. One awakened soul refusing to go back to sleep. If this resonates with you, pause and ask yourself, what moment in your life first cracked the illusion? Share it below in the comments, because your story may be the very spark that awakens another heart. The great deception crumbles when chosen ones unite, when voices rise together, when testimony becomes louder than propaganda. This is not theory. It is happening now. The awakening is spreading like fire, and you are part of it. And as this fire grows, the enemy trembles, because light always conquers darkness. From here, we move deeper into the battlefield, where history itself reveals the pattern of manipulation that has ruled humanity for generations. History of manipulation. From the beginning of civilization, power has been seized not only through armies and weapons, but through the control of truth. Pharaohs declared themselves gods to demand worship. Kings twisted holy laws to justify their greed. Priests aligned with empires to keep people submissive through fear of eternal punishment. The great deception is not new, it is ancient, woven into the fabric of human history. To awaken as the chosen one is to see these patterns, to recognize that what you face today is not random chaos, but the continuation of a dark strategy older than empires. Think of Babylon, where language itself was confused to scatter humanity, or Rome, where emperors wielded religion as a weapon to silence dissent. The same tactics echo now, dressed in modern clothes, media instead of scrolls, politicians instead of pharaohs, corporations instead of temples. Yet the root is unchanged. Control through illusion, power through deception. The goal has always been the same, to keep humanity from realizing its divine identity, its true freedom, its eternal worth. Take a modern example. How often do advertisements tell you that you are incomplete without their product? How often does news stoke fear not to inform, but to manipulate? How often do leaders claim moral authority while secretly bowing to greed? These are not accidents. They are deliberate manipulations meant to shape your perception, to make you believe you are small, powerless, dependent. But when your spirit awakens, you see the strings. The puppet show loses its magic, and in that moment you break free. The lesson here is profound. History's chains can be broken, but only if you dare to confront them. The chosen one is called to question the narratives, to test the spirits, to discern what is real from what is counterfeit. Do not accept tradition simply because it is old. Do not accept authority simply because it is loud. Measure everything against the inner truth planted by the divine within you. That compass will never mislead you. But make no mistake, once you see, you cannot unsee. Awakening is permanent. It demands a response. Will you stand silent as others remain blind, or will you speak with courage, even if your voice shakes? This is where history shifts. When awakened souls refuse to repeat the cycle, you become the break in the chain, the one who says, "It ends with me." Imagine generations to come, looking back at this moment. They will not remember the lies of leaders. They will remember the courage of those who chose truth over comfort. Your awakening, your stand, your refusal to bow to deception will ripple forward in time. And though the battle is fierce, the reward is eternal. Comment below. Do you believe history is repeating itself, and that the same manipulations of ancient empires are alive today? Let your voice be heard, because discussion is the spark of revolution. The chosen ones are not called to hide in silence, but to rise as beacons, to heal what has been broken, to expose what has been hidden, to carry light into every shadow. As we move forward, the story deepens. The cracks in the system grow wider, the deception struggles to hold its mask, and the world itself begins to shake. The awakening is spreading, the tipping point is near, and the time to decide grows shorter with every heartbeat. Signs of cracks appearing. The mask of power is breaking. What once looked flawless now trembles with fractures, and the great deception struggles to hide the truth, spilling out. For years, the elite constructed walls of illusion so high that most could not even imagine climbing them. Yet today, those walls are shaking, revealing glimpses of what has always been hidden. Whistleblowers emerge like prophets crying in the wilderness. Their voices roar, exposing corruption that once seemed untouchable. Scandals erupt like earthquakes, shaking institutions that claimed holiness while secretly feeding on greed. The veil that covered the eyes of nations is tearing, and light seeps through the cracks. Think about the news stories that surface, then vanish, buried under distractions. A leader caught in hypocrisy, a system exposed for exploitation, a hidden deal uncovered in the shadows. Each revelation is a divine signpost, pointing to the collapse of falsehood. The chosen ones feel it in their bones. This is not random chaos, but a countdown. Like lightning piercing the night sky, the cracks illuminate the truth. The empires of deception are weaker than they appear. The lesson is sobering but healing. Truth cannot be buried forever. Lies are heavy, but they crumble under their own weight. When the cracks appear, your spirit must not turn away. You were chosen to notice, to discern, to see what others dismiss. This awareness can feel like a burden, but it is also your weapon. With clarity, you cannot be manipulated. With vision, you cannot be enslaved. Take an example from daily life. When you scroll through endless headlines, you feel the manipulation, fear, outrage, division, all engineered to keep you distracted. But then a single honest voice breaks through, revealing the deeper story behind the spectacle. That moment of recognition is a crack. It is the spirit whispering, "Look closer. The truth is there." These moments are gifts, guiding you through the fog. So, what do you do when you see the cracks? You choose. Some people look away because it hurts to see their heroes fall, their institutions fail, their comfort unravel. But the chosen one leans in, knowing that every fracture is a doorway to freedom. Comment below. Do you believe the cracks we see today are signs of collapse or simply accidents of human failure? Your answer matters, because it may awaken another soul to see beyond the surface. The more we discuss, the wider the cracks grow, and the sooner the truth emerges in full light. The cracks are not the end. They are the beginning of awakening, leading us directly to the tipping point. The tipping point. There comes a moment in every story when hesitation is no longer possible, when the balance shifts so suddenly that history itself cannot turn back. Humanity is standing at that tipping point right now. Systems built on deception are collapsing at terrifying speed, and every soul is being forced to choose: remain blind in comfort or awaken into truth. Time is no longer a luxury. Every second spent in denial strengthens the grip of lies. Every moment wasted deepens the wounds of a world bleeding from falsehood. Yet every step toward awareness is a step toward reclaiming power. This urgency is not fear, it is fire. The divine is pressing on your spirit, whispering, "Now." History does not wait for the hesitant. When Moses stood before the sea, hesitation meant death. When Esther entered the throne room, hesitation meant destruction for her people. And now, for the chosen ones of this generation, hesitation means surrendering your destiny. The tipping point demands action, courage, awakening. Ask yourself, when future generations look back, will they see you as one who remained silent, or one who rose when the world needed it most? This is not just about survival. This is about legacy. The awakening is not personal alone. It is generational. Every decision you make echoes beyond your lifetime. To awaken today is to plant seeds of freedom that your children will harvest tomorrow. Consider a real example. Revolutions in history were never started by crowds, but by individuals who refused to bow. A single voice crying "no more" has the power to ignite movements. That is why the tipping point is not a far-off prophecy. It is here, in your heart, in your choice. Do not underestimate the weight of your awakening. One awakened soul can shift families, communities, even nations. And here is the healing truth. You are not alone in this battle. As you rise, countless others are rising. Across the globe, millions are questioning, searching, rejecting the comfortable illusions. The tipping point is not just you, it is us, a wave swelling, unstoppable, divine. Together, we carry the energy of renewal, the fire of awakening, the promise of transformation. But you must decide. Will you open your eyes fully or close them to preserve comfort? This is the line in the sand. Comment below. Are we living in the tipping point of history, or is this only the beginning? Speak your heart, because your courage may be the spark that ignites another soul. The tipping point is here. The cracks have already appeared. The illusions are breaking. The truth is rising. From this moment, there is no turning back. The next step is to embrace the divine gifts waiting for you, gifts that will arm you for the storm and anchor you in unshakable purpose. Divine gifts for the chosen. The moment you awaken, the heavens do not leave you empty-handed. You are armed with treasures far more valuable than gold, weapons forged not of steel, but of spirit. The chosen ones are granted divine gifts, each designed to make you unshakable in the face of the storm. The first gift is clarity of mind, a light so sharp it cuts through the fog of confusion like a blazing sword through darkness. In a world drunk on deception, clarity is rare, priceless, and dangerous to those who live by lies. With clarity, you no longer stumble in doubt. You see what others miss. When propaganda screams fear, your heart stays calm. When manipulation weaves webs of illusion, your vision pierces straight to truth. Imagine living with eyes so clear that no shadow could ever trick you again. The second gift is revelation of purpose. Many wander without direction, chasing dreams that dissolve like smoke. But the chosen are anchored. You are given a knowing that cannot be taught by books or schools, a calling written into the marrow of your bones. Suddenly, you see why your struggles were never wasted, why your pain shaped you, why every trial carved out space for greatness. Your life is not an accident. It is a mission. And when you discover that mission, your soul ignites with unstoppable momentum. Even when the world shakes, you will not be moved, because you know what you are here to do. The third gift is spiritual strength. This is more than endurance. It is resilience born of heaven itself. It is the power to keep standing when others collapse, to keep believing when hope seems dead, to keep loving when hatred rages. This strength is invisible but undeniable, a current running through your veins, lifting you when your body is weak, guiding you when your mind is tired, sustaining you when your heart wants to quit. It is divine armor, and once you wear it, no storm can destroy you. These gifts are not ornaments to admire, they are tools to wield. With clarity, you discern truth. With purpose, you focus your life. With strength, you endure every battle. Together, they make you a force that darkness fears. But here is the deeper truth. These gifts are not only for you. They are meant to flow through you to others. When you speak with clarity, you awaken minds. When you live with purpose, you inspire courage. When you stand with strength, you become a refuge for the broken. The chosen one is not blessed to boast, but to bless. Think of Moses leading a people out of chains, David standing fearless before a giant, Esther risking her life to save her nation. Their gifts were not given for personal comfort, but for transformation of many. And so it is with you. The divine has not awakened you to keep the light hidden, but to shine it in the darkest places. If you feel these words burn within you, write in the comments what gift you believe is stirring most in your life: clarity, purpose, or strength. Your testimony may be the encouragement someone else desperately needs. When you embrace these gifts, you carry heaven's fingerprints into a world starving for truth. You stop living as a victim of circumstance and rise as a vessel of destiny. The storm is real, the deception is vast, but the chosen rise unshaken because they know the gifts within them are greater than the lies around them. From this place of empowerment, the story deepens, because as the veil tears, what has been hidden in the shadows is finally revealed. The curtain is being pulled back, and the world is seeing what it was never meant to see. The curtain pulled back. For generations, hidden powers have operated behind closed doors, pulling strings like puppet masters while the masses danced unaware. They orchestrated wars, shaped economies, twisted laws, all under the cover of secrecy. The stage was dressed with smiling faces, speeches of hope, symbols of unity, but behind the curtain, greed and manipulation reigned. Yet nothing hidden stays hidden forever. The curtain is being pulled back, and what lies beneath is too grotesque to ignore. Leaked documents, secret recordings, and brave voices willing to risk everything are tearing the mask away. What once seemed untouchable now trembles under exposure. Across nations, scandals spread like wildfire, connecting dots that once felt isolated. Suddenly you realize the pattern. The lies are not local, they are global. The same tactics of control repeat across borders, cultures, and systems. Division, distraction, fear. They are not random tools, they are strategies designed to blind humanity. But the chosen can see through it. This unveiling is terrifying and liberating all at once. Terrifying because the corruption runs deeper than most dare to admit. Liberating because the illusion loses power the moment it is exposed. It is like watching a magician's trick revealed. Once you know the sleight of hand, you can never be fooled again. That is why the awakening matters. The more people see, the more the deception collapses. But this unveiling is not only about exposure, it is about unity. As the curtain falls, humanity realizes the struggles we thought were separate are connected. The fight for truth, justice, and freedom is not confined to one group, one nation, or one religion. It is a shared battle, and the awakening is drawing people together across divides once thought impossible. This unity does not erase diversity, it celebrates it. It is the recognition that no single soul can heal the world alone, but together the chosen can. Picture it. People from different nations, languages, and beliefs reaching across boundaries, sharing wisdom, offering strength, amplifying light. Social media becomes not just noise, but a platform for truth. Communities rise where isolation once reigned. Families find courage to stand together when systems fail them. This is the beauty of the curtain being pulled back. When lies are exposed, truth calls us into connection. The lesson here is timeless. Darkness thrives in isolation, but light multiplies in unity. The chosen are never alone. You are part of a tribe, a global movement, a divine uprising that no system of deception can withstand. And as this unity grows, the power of the great deception crumbles. If you believe the curtain is being pulled back in our generation, share in the comments what truth you see most clearly being revealed today. Your perspective is part of the global awakening, a piece of the larger puzzle that helps others see. This is the moment you were born for. The curtain is down, the stage is exposed, and now the world must decide what to do with the truth revealed. From here, the path moves toward preparation. For once you see the storm clearly, the question becomes, how will you stand when it breaks in full force? Preparation for the storm. The storm is not coming, it is already here. You feel it in the unrest around you, in the heaviness of the headlines, in the unease that lingers even in quiet moments. The world is trembling under the weight of collapsing systems, and yet the chosen ones are called not to fear, but to prepare. Preparation is not panic, it is power. When you know who you are and what you carry, no chaos can strip you of peace. This is the sacred discipline of the awakened soul, to be anchored when everything else is shifting, to be unshakable when others fall. Preparation begins within. Inner peace is the strongest fortress. Through prayer, meditation, and moments of stillness, you train your spirit to be calm in the storm. Think of Jesus asleep in the boat while waves crashed and disciples panicked. He was not blind to the storm, but connected to a greater power than the storm. You are invited into that same peace, a calm that whispers louder than thunder. This peace heals you, strengthens you, and reminds you that your safety is not in circumstances, but in divine presence. Preparation also touches the body. To carry your mission, you must care for the vessel, strengthen your health, honor your rest, fuel your body with what gives life, not what drains it. When the world outside feels unstable, your body becomes the ground where resilience grows. Just as a temple was built strong to house glory, your body is a temple meant to sustain light, protect it. Preparation extends into community. You were never meant to stand alone. Find kindred spirits, align with those who also see, and build bonds of support. Together, you carry one another when the weight grows heavy. A single flame can be blown out, but a forest fire cannot. That is the power of connection. It multiplies strength. Even a simple comment from you, shared in vulnerability, may be the lifeline another soul needs to keep going. But above all, preparation is spiritual. It is about drawing close to the source of strength, about anchoring your heart in eternal truth so deeply that no lie can uproot it. Build your foundation now, for when the storm rages, it will be too late to start. Lay down roots in faith, drink deeply from wisdom, surround yourself with truth. When lightning strikes, you will not be shaken, for your roots go deeper than fear. The storm is fierce, but remember this: storms always pass. They refine, they strip away what is weak, they reveal what is strong. And when the skies clear, those who stood firm will rise into a new world ready for their light. Preparation is not survival, it is transformation. Those who prepare will not just endure, they will lead. And that is where we now turn, because the chosen are called to more than survival. They are called to manifest true divine power. True divine power has been distorted by the world. Too often it is seen as domination, control, the ability to bend others to your will. But that is counterfeit power. True divine power is different. It flows from love, integrity, and alignment with eternal truth. It is not forced, but it transforms. It does not enslave, but it frees. The chosen ones are entrusted with this kind of power, and when they walk in it, they change the atmosphere wherever they go. Divine power begins with authority over yourself. To master your impulses, to silence fear, to discipline your mind. This is the foundation of all true authority. When you no longer bow to your own doubts and fears, you are free to carry strength for others. Imagine walking into a room filled with chaos, yet your presence brings calm, not because you shouted, but because you radiated peace. That is power. This power also manifests in influence. When you live with clarity, purpose, and resilience, people take notice. They are drawn not to your status, but to your authenticity. True influence is not built on platforms or titles, but on character. A mother who chooses love instead of anger, a teacher who inspires beyond the classroom, a leader who serves rather than controls. These are the real demonstrations of divine power. Consider a simple example. A person living in scarcity who still gives generously creates ripples of transformation. Their action reveals abundance beyond money. It reveals the flow of heaven itself. Or think of a community leader who refuses corruption and instead builds systems of fairness. That choice plants seeds of justice that outlast lifetimes. This is divine power in action. It reshapes reality without violence, without oppression, through alignment with truth. But divine power carries a warning. It demands humility. The moment power becomes about ego, it loses its purity. That is why the chosen must constantly return to the source, reminding themselves that this authority is not theirs alone, but entrusted to them for the sake of others. Use your resources to heal, not harm. Use your words to uplift, not destroy. Use your vision to build, not exploit. Here lies the healing promise. When you align with divine power, abundance flows naturally. Opportunities open, provision arrives, influence multiplies. You do not chase it. It chases you because your frequency resonates with the laws of love and justice. This abundance is not only financial, but spiritual. Peace deeper than fear, joy stronger than sorrow, wisdom clearer than confusion. If you believe divine power is rising in your life, write in the comments how you see it manifesting. In clarity, in courage, in influence, or in abundance. Your testimony can inspire others to embrace their own authority. The chosen ones are not called to be silent witnesses, but active builders of a new world. And so the journey moves forward. From preparing your soul for the storm to stepping boldly into divine power, you are being shaped into a leader the world desperately needs. But what is this power for? It is for the building of something new, the world reborn in light, a future marked not by deception, but by truth, not by fear, but by love. Building the new world. The false systems are collapsing, but in their ruins rises something radiant, the new world that the chosen ones are destined to build. This world will not be ruled by greed, fear, and deception, but by truth, compassion, and justice. You can already sense it stirring in the hearts of people everywhere, a longing for something purer, a vision of a life where humanity thrives in unity instead of division. This is the future waiting to be born, and you are not just a witness, you are an architect. Every decision you make, every word of kindness you speak, every act of courage you take, lays another stone in the foundation of this world. Picture a society where leaders are chosen not by wealth or corruption, but by integrity and service. Imagine communities that protect the weak, honor the earth, and celebrate diversity as strength. Think of systems designed not to exploit, but to uplift. This is not fantasy, it is prophecy, and the chosen are the ones shaping it. Just as ancient builders raised temples with sacred intention, so too must you build the structures of tomorrow with love and vision. But here lies the lesson. Building a new world requires sacrifice. The old ways will resist. Darkness does not surrender without a fight. Yet every step you take in truth, no matter how small, weakens the grip of deception. Your influence matters. A mother teaching her children compassion, a worker refusing corruption, a student daring to question lies. These are not insignificant acts. They are revolutions in seed form. They multiply, they spread, they ignite. If you believe we are building something new, share in the comments what kind of world you long to see. Justice, healing, peace, abundance. Your voice shapes the vision. The new world is not waiting for politicians or systems. It is waiting for you. And as you labor in hope, remember, every act of faith, every choice of love, every stand for truth brings us closer to a world reborn in light. The rewards of the faithful. The path of the chosen is hard, filled with rejection, loneliness, and fire. But the faithful are never forgotten. There is a divine law etched into the fabric of existence, Those who sow in tears will reap in joy. The rewards of the faithful are not mere promises, they are realities already unfolding. Peace where there was turmoil, clarity where there was confusion, abundance where there was lack. These are not rewards of ego, but of grace. Think of it. Every sleepless night of prayer, every sacrifice you made to live in truth, every tear shed because you chose love over hatred, none of it is wasted. The universe keeps the record, the divine remembers, and in due season the blessings flow like a river that cannot be dammed. Some rewards will be visible, opportunities opening, provision arriving, influence expanding. Others will be invisible but deeper, joy unshakable, wisdom unsearchable, strength unbreakable. Together, they form a harvest so rich it overflows your life into the lives of others. But the most powerful truth is this: your blessings are not only for you, they are entrusted to you so you can uplift others. The rewards of the faithful become resources for greater service. When you prosper, you can give more. When you heal, you can heal others. When you shine, you illuminate the path for many. That is why the chosen must embrace their blessings with humility and gratitude. They are not trophies, but tools. They are the divine saying, "I see you, I honor you, keep going." Consider a real example. A person who once lived in scarcity but stayed faithful to their mission finds themselves suddenly surrounded by opportunities. Instead of hoarding, they share. Their generosity multiplies, inspiring others, creating ripples of transformation. This is the cycle of grace. The more you give, the more flows back, not as punishment or reward, but as the rhythm of the universe itself. Comment below. What do you believe is the greatest reward for faithfulness? Peace, abundance, clarity, or strength? Your reflection may remind someone else why their struggle is not in vain. The chosen are not forgotten. The divine honors their sacrifice, and as blessings pour in, the faithful are equipped for even greater missions. From this fountain of reward, we flow into restoration, for the faithful are not only blessed, they are renewed. Restoration and renewal. There comes a time when the weight of wounds must lift, when the scars of the past become the strength of the present. This is the promise of restoration and renewal for the chosen. Many of you have carried shame, regret, and pain like chains, believing they disqualified you from your mission. But the truth is more beautiful. Your brokenness is not the end of your story. It is the soil where divine power grows. What was once your wound becomes your weapon. What was once your weakness becomes your witness. Restoration means being reconnected to your true purpose. Dreams you thought were dead begin to stir again. Gifts you ignored suddenly awaken. Passions long buried resurface with fire. Renewal means stepping into life with fresh energy, clear vision, and unshakable faith. You feel lighter, freer, more alive than you ever thought possible. This is not wishful thinking. It is transformation. Think of Job, who lost everything but was restored double. Think of Peter, who denied his friend but was renewed into a fearless leader. The divine does not discard the broken, it rebuilds them stronger, and so it will be with you. Every failure, every tear, every betrayal can be redeemed. The ashes of your past can become the foundation of your future. The lesson here is hope. It is never too late to rise. No wound is too deep to heal, no mistake too great to redeem, no life too broken to restore. The renewal you long for is not waiting in some distant future. It is available the moment you surrender, the moment you say, "Yes, I am ready to walk again." And as you are restored, you become a healer for others. Your scars become testimonies. Your renewal becomes an invitation. People will look at your life and realize, if they could rise, so can I. That is the miracle of restoration. It multiplies hope. If you feel renewal stirring within you, comment with one word that describes what you are leaving behind, and one word that describes what you are stepping into. This is not just interaction, it is declaration. And as you declare, you align with your destiny. From here, the story moves forward. The chosen are building the new world, reaping the rewards of faithfulness, and walking in restoration. But the journey does not end here. Ahead lies even greater awakening, an inheritance of power, purpose, and legacy that will ripple across generations. The path is rising, and so are you. The journey of the chosen one is not just a story, it is the living heartbeat of humanity. You have walked with me through the great deception, through the cracks in the system, through the tipping point, through the awakening of gifts and the revealing of truth. And now, as this path draws to a close, one truth rises above all others. You were born for this. Every scar, every trial, every sleepless night that whispered you were not enough was a lie meant to keep you bound. Yet here you are, awake, alive, and standing at the edge of destiny. The world is trembling, yes. Systems built on lies are shaking, yes. But within the shaking comes an opportunity more powerful than anything humanity has seen. When the false collapses, the true emerges. When shadows scatter, the light burns brighter. And you, the chosen, are not a bystander, you are the flame. Your clarity, your courage, your compassion are weapons that no corruption can withstand. The hidden truth is no longer hidden. The spiritual awakening is no longer in whispers. It roars like thunder across the generations. Close your eyes and imagine this: a world where fear no longer dictates decisions, where love is stronger than division, where unity triumphs over deception. Picture families healed, communities rebuilt, nations rising with integrity. This is not far away. It begins with each heart that says yes, and that heart is yours. The divine mission planted within you was not meant to be silenced. You are not here by accident. You are not scrolling through life aimlessly. You are a torchbearer, a pioneer, a messenger of truth. And when you step fully into your mission, you inspire countless others to awaken too. The truth is emotional, but it is also practical. Each small act of courage ripples. Each time you choose faith over fear, you break a chain. Each time you speak love into a room full of hate, you shift the atmosphere. This is how revolutions begin, not with explosions, but with sparks. And the spark is inside you. Do not underestimate your influence. Do not think your voice is too small. Mountains move when enough voices rise together. That is why your comment matters. That is why your voice in this space is sacred. Tell me, do you believe the world is waking up, or do you think most will remain asleep? Your answer may awaken someone else's courage tonight. And now, a promise. For the faithful, for the ones who endure. There are rewards no one can steal. Peace in the storm, strength in the weakness, joy that defies sorrow, abundance not just of wealth, but of spirit. These are not distant dreams. They are the reality of those who refuse to bow to the great deception, and they are waiting for you. Step into them boldly. Do not shrink back. You are called to walk in divine abundance, divine power, divine clarity. This is your inheritance. I want you to know that as I speak these words, I am not speaking only to a faceless crowd. I am speaking to you. Yes, you. The one reading this with questions in your heart, with battles no one else knows, with dreams that feel too heavy to carry. Hear me. You are seen, you are chosen, you are loved. You are not too late, you are not too broken, you are not too far gone. The light of eternity burns within you, and nothing can extinguish it. If this message has stirred something inside of you, if it has helped you see with clarity or find hope in the shadows, then let's keep this flame alive together. Like this video, not for me, but because it pushes this truth to souls who are desperately searching for light. Subscribe, because each new voice that joins amplifies the sound of awakening in this generation. And if you feel in your heart that this brought healing or strength to your spirit, I invite you to support in any way you can, your energy, your encouragement, your presence. Even the smallest gesture is a seed, and seeds grow into forests. Every single act of support is priceless to me, because it fuels the mission to keep sharing the word, to keep breaking chains, to keep lighting the way. And above all, carry this truth with you. The chosen are not called to live in silence, but to rise in courage, to rise in love, to rise in truth. Let your life be the proof that light is stronger than darkness, that faith is stronger than fear, that destiny is stronger than deception. The curtain has been pulled back, the storm has been faced, the gifts have been given. Now it is your time to walk in power. So go forth, not as a spectator, but as a builder of the new world. Let your every step be healing. Let your every word be light. Let your every choice echo into eternity. This is your calling. This is your legacy. This is the truth that cannot be silenced. And remember, you are the chosen one.